Hi, this video we're going to work with dictionaries and we're going to use a menu-driven program to allow the user to work with friends' names and birthdays. There's the dictionary menu here in the program that we're going to use that allows them to look up a birthday, add a new birthday, change a birthday, or delete a birthday. All this is being done with dictionaries. So the program initially starts with an empty dictionary, so you have to choose item 2 from the menu to add a new entry. Once you have added a few entries, you can choose item 1 to look up a specific person's birthday, item 3 to change an existing birthday in a dictionary, item 4 to delete a birthday from the dictionary, or item 5 to quit the program. Now, we're going to go ahead and get started with this. I'll talk through it as we go so you can kind of get an idea of what we're doing here. Oops, get my notes set up here. Okay, so I've already got a new file opened up here, so we'll get started here. We're going to start with the main, and we're going to call this birthdays when we get ready to save it here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up 5 global constants to make it a little bit easier to navigate through the program, not using numbers but using words. So we're going to have one that's called, as soon as I can type, lookup is going to be equal to 1, add is going to be equal to 2, change equal to 3, delete equal to 4, and quit equal to 5. Okay, then we're going to get started with main here. First thing we want to do is create an empty dictionary. So birthdays is going to be equal to curly brace, curly brace. Then we're going to set, I'm going to do a little bit different than what my notes say. I get these out of books, and sometimes these books do something that's kind of strange to me. What it's going to do is it wants to set choice equal to 0, and then choice equals get menu, or then while choice does not equal quit, choice equals get menu choice. So what we're going to do is we're going to call get menu choice first, and then while choice does not equal quit. That way it can't go into the while loop if they decide not to want to do this at all. Okay, so we're going to start off with that then. Back over here. And we're going to do choice equals get menu choice. It's going to be a function that we're going to call. And then while choice does not equal quit. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go through a set of if-else ifs to determine what they are doing, what they want to do here. So if choice equals lookup, then we're going to call lookup passing in birthdays. Else if choice equals add, we're going to call add passing in birthdays. And then so on down through here. Else if choice equals change, we'll call change passing in birthdays. Else if choice equals delete, then we'll call delete passing in birthdays. Okay, now this is something else that the book doesn't have, or the book that I took this out of doesn't have, is that what if they put in the wrong choice? meaning they put in a 6 by mistake. Well, this would just go through and not do any of this stuff, but the person wouldn't know that. So we're going to put an else on here. Else, it will just print out a message. There we go. Okay. And then in order for this to continue on, we need to have them enter it again anyway. So we're going to do call the menu again here. Okay. So then once they put in a 5, which will be for quit, it will drop out of the loop. Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to create the functions for each of these that we're going to be calling. So here goes the first one. First one is to get the menu choice. I'm going to print a blank line so that we can get some separation in here. And then we'll print out a line that says friends and their birthdays. And then we'll just print out, oops, wrong one there, print out an underline through this. This is kind of like a separator, make it look nice. And then we'll print out each of the choices. Oops, that one should have been 4. There we go. And then 5. Put in another blank line here as a separator. And then choice is going to be equal to int input enter your choice. And then what they did in this is in the thing here, they put in while choice is less than lookup or choice is greater than quit, choice equals enter a valid choice on here. And I decided to put it up in the main program with the else. The options are 1 through 5, please re-enter. Okay. That way is caught there. It doesn't matter where you do it. It just depends on what you're doing with this. I decided to do that rather than in here. So, and then we return choice. Okay. Now, one reason I did that, and let me go up here and look at this again. Was because if you do it the way that my example does this, it sets choice equal to 0, and then while choice does not equal quit, it goes into it here. Okay, which means that the person has to go into it at least one time, which they have to do anyway. but I don't know. It's just the way that I learned it, and so I like sticking with the way I do things on this stuff. So, okay, so we got that one done. So the next one we're going to do will be the lookup. So get to that part here. Okay, so in this one, what we're going to do is we're going to do name equals input, enter a name, and then we're going to print birthdays.get name, and then not found. So what this will do is it'll print out the name if it's in there. If it's not in there, it'll print out not found, not found. Okay. So that's all there is to that one. Next one is add. Again, we're passing in birthdays. So on this one, we need to make sure that the name isn't already there, because if the name is there and we do this, it's going to change it, and we don't want that to happen. So, and I'm going to change this also, and you don't know what I have here that I'm typing from, but it has you put in the name and the birthday both. Well, if you put in the name and it's already there, then you're putting in a birthday when you don't really need to. So I'm going to change this a little bit, and I'm going to say, um, just put in the name, and then if name not in birthdays, then we ask them to enter the birthday. B-day equals enter a birthday. Okay. And then birthday's name equals B-day. Else, we print that entry already exists. Okay? So this way, they don't have to enter a birthday if they made a mistake on the name to start with. Okay, next one's our change. So on this one, we need to get a name. Enter a name. And now we're going to check to see if name in birthdays, birthday equals input, enter the new birthday, then birthdays in brackets names or name equals B-day, and that will add it to the dictionary. Else, we want to print a message that name is not found. Okay, and then we have our delete. And so in here, what we're going to do, again, we need to get the name that we want to delete. So name equals input. enter a name. So if name in birthdays, then we're going to do a del birthdays name, else we'll print that name is not found. Okay. And that is the code for doing all this stuff here. So all we got to do is put in to call main. Okay. So now, once we get through this, I'll go through a few little things on some changes that would make it look nice and everything. So let me go ahead and get this saved. And we're calling this birthdays, .py. Okay. And we'll run this, see if I got any typos in here. Here's our menu. And I'm going to go ahead and do a 2. Enter a name, John. Enter a birthday, 1/1/2000. Okay. Do again. I'm going to do one more name, add another name, Mary. 2001, and then I'll do a 1 lookup. There's the birthday for John. I'll do a 4 to delete. Put in the name Mary. Oh, crashed on me. I misspelled birthdays in there on delete birthdays. That's why you test everything in here. Right there. Okay, so I have to start over again, but that's okay, because now what we need to do is do some testing on here. So I'm going to do a 1 to look up Mary, and it comes up and says not found. So I'll do 2. Put John in there, do a 2. Okay, and then I'm going to do a 3, or do a 2 again, and do John, and it comes up and says that name already exists. So that works also. We'll do a 1 lookup, and look up Bill, not found. Okay, we'll do a 3 change. Put in Mary and do a 4/4/2000, and then we'll do a lookup for Mary and see that it was changed. Do a 3 and do Larry, name not found. Do a 4 for delete. Larry, name not found. Do a 4 to do a delete. John, and that's done. Then we'll do a 5 to quit. Now, some of the things, real quick, on this that we should look at on changing in that is probably putting in more messages. For example, when you delete something else, say the name was deleted, or you add, say this, the whole information was added. But this is just to get you going with dictionaries. So I hope this helped out on dictionaries for you. Thanks a lot. Bye.